I mentioned it, which is if somebody dies and we know they have fasting upon their neck, and this happens a lot regarding women because they have menses, and a lot of us, it's good for us to go back to our sisters and family members, especially for example if you have an auntie or old grandmother. It's good to know if they've missed any fasting, because the last thing you want is for your own relatives to show up on the day of judgment and they've missed some fasting when you could have helped make up for them after their death. So, he says, وَإِن مَاتَ الْمُفَرَّطِ If somebody, mufarrat means somebody who is, what's the word for it? Neglectful, barakallahu fiqh. Someone who is neglectful, he died, meaning he did not make it up and he was neglectful. When we say neglectful here, mufarrat is bila udrin, without an excuse. If he was delaying it and he missed it, and he had something on his neck, as a result of a genuine excuse, he's forgiven. But this is when he kept delaying it intentionally. أُطْعِمَ عَنْهُ كَذَلِكَ It's a fidya is given on his behalf. مِنْ رَأْسِ مَالِهِ وَلَا يُصَامُ A fidya is given on his behalf. Now this is a big issue of khilaf, and I don't want to go into a lot of detail, but this is an issue where the scholars, they mention, if a person dies and he does not do certain actions, are you able to do the actions on their behalf? Yes or no? Now, if the person, or do you have to do it on their behalf or not? So if a person, for example, had the ability to do Hajj, had it, but then genuinely did not do Hajj and died upon it, should you make up for Hajj on their behalf? Or if somebody, they had the ability to do Hajj, but qaddar Allah, they never got the opportunity. They tried, they never got the opportunity, and they died. Do we say you have to make Hajj for them? So two cases. If the person genuinely tried their best and they died like that, then you don't even have to bring it back. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. خلاص. They tried, they couldn't, خلاص, there's nothing upon them. But if they didn't try, they were neglectful, and they kept delaying, and they died. And then upon them is fasting or Hajj, there's a discussion. And there's a discussion regarding Hajj and fasting and Umrah and Salah and Zakah, many issues. We'll stick to what the book is mentioning, inshaAllah ta'ala. What the book is mentioning is regarding fasting. So if somebody dies and there's fasting upon them, what do you have to do on their behalf? Do you have to fast on their behalf? Can you fast on their behalf? Or just pay the fidya and khalas?
Would you need to fast on their behalf?
Fast on their behalf.
Yeah.
So if somebody dies and then didn't do salah?
No, but there's no delete for the salah, but there's a delete for the siyam.
About Hajj?
There's a delete for Hajj as well.
Hajj is okay. And siyam, what's the delete?
من مات وعليه صوم صام عنه وليه.
صح. That is one evidence. But there's another evidence. What do you do with the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ? من مات وعليه صيام فليطعم عن كل يوم عنه مكان كل يوم مسكينا.
So you can do jam'a because you do both.
That's creating a third qawl. There's a khilaf regarding the scholars. With the way to do jam'a of both evidences is the scholars, they do tafriq between ما لازم بأصل الشرع وما لازم بالنذر. They say anything that was made wajib because of the sharia and what was made wajib because of the nadr. So they say that hadith that you mentioned, it applies to a nadr. Meaning, if a person says, I'm going to fast for the next 1 week, that is taking an oath and making it incumbent upon themselves. And then they die and they never did it because of laziness. Then you can make up for them through fasting. But for the person who's missed Ramadan, and Ramadan is something obligated, bi asli shara, because of Allah told us, then this one you just have to do the fidya. That's a good way to do jam'a. There's a big discussion, but this is the khulas of it, inshaAllah ta'ala. Now, so the one who does fasting on their behalf is who? The wali. Who is the wali? The mahram? The father? What if the father is passed away? Who's his wali? So here, wali does not mean the wilaya in the sharia like that. It means the aqarib, anybody close to you. Your relatives can do, the neighbors you can do on behalf of your neighbors. Anyone close to you. Yeah. تفضل.
أحسن الله إليك. وإن كان على الميت نذر من حج أو صوم أو صلاة ونحوها سن لوليه قضاء.
Now that's the opinion the Sheikh mentions. If there is hajj or there's fasting because of a nadar, then you do it on the basis of bringing it back, not fidya. So fidya is only given when it is a fasting that is wajib bi asli shara. Yeah.
أحسن الله إليك. ومع تركة يجب لا مباشرة ولي.
Now, so you mentioned two things. مع تركة يجب, meaning if the person's left inheritance and they didn't do Ramadan fasting, you take from the inheritance and you pay the fidya from their inheritance. If they don't have inheritance, so it becomes wajib to take the inheritance and give it for his Ramadan that he hasn't fasted. Yajib. But if he doesn't have money, is it become wajib upon me and you, the brother and the sister, or the cousin, or the father, to take the money out from our pockets and give it on their behalf? No, it's recommended. For us, it's recommended from our money, but from his money, it is wajib. لا مباشرة ولي, it's not the direct wali, meaning not the father and things like that. It's aqarib, generally aqarib. No. تفضل.
أحسن الله إليك. فصل يسن صوم أيام البيض.
You guys tired?
No.
So some brothers are tired. You want to take a break? Huh? Should we stop? Is that Ramadan next week? Let's see, right? Allahu A'lam. It may be, may not be, right? Is it expected to be on Sunday, right? Possible. You guys want to continue? Yeah? There's not much left. You can read it quickly and just mention the points bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Just the fasting that is prescribed, voluntary fasting, fasting that is haram, and then i'tikaf. That's it. You guys want to take a break or continue? Who wants to continue? Who wants to take a break? Tired, huh?
Long drive back.
SubhanAllah. What do you guys say, huh? Should we take a 5-minute break? I can take a 5 minutes break and then we'll continue the rest of the book, inshallah. The brothers who have any commitments or anything like that, you're free to leave, inshallah. Allah subhanahu